Hello, chat. Hi. It's been a day, chat. Don Lemon has been indicted, and the indictment is out there finally. It's funny because apparently, like, Jake Tapper released it, and I was like, it said like 3 hours ago, and I'm like, I haven't seen it yet, and I've been looking for it as I've been working this afternoon. Apparently, it's available. We got it, chat. We have the indictment. We have it all. We are going to get into it. First of all, welcome to the show. If you guys are new, my name is Sean, also known as Potentially Criminal. I'm an attorney in the Cleveland, Ohio area. And today we're going to look at Don Lemon and whether or not Don Lemon is subject to the Lemon Law, or whether or not for Don Lemon it's going to turn out to be a lemon party. Job well done actually comes up with a good one here. We should call Steve Lato because he specializes in lemon law. That's right, guys. Steve Lato from Lato's Law. He does lemon law, and like when you have shitty cars, he specializes in that stuff. Very good channel. If you guys haven't watched him, watch him. I actually kind of learned, I was like, oh, I came to learn of doing legal stuff on YouTube, like through him as one of the people, and also Viva Fry as another. So very funny, very funny. Oh, that's good. That's good. No way we get melanated. Melanated Shay. No, we get gay melanated Klansmen. Let's see here. Am I going to do is that, yes, we're going to celebrate with a lemon party video, chat. We're going to celebrate the lemon party video. Also, real quick, I don't know if you're out there. Another, you sent in a super chat last night. I didn't see it. Also, Debbie O. I did not see the super chats. I wanted to apologize to you guys because I did not see those, and I'm very sorry about that. Last night we were watching the Brendan Banfield stream. So once again, like I said, my apologies. My apologies on that. And let me see here. Let's see here. Murked Varlo. Yes, murked means murdered, murked, killed, clipped. Like a whiskey 77 says for $2 late. Gay. Well, you don't have to talk about yourself that way. It's okay. Be proud of who you are. You don't sound proud of yourself. You don't sound too proud of yourself. Aaron Proxy, we'll get to this. We will get to this, man. We'll talk about that in a second. First of all, we got to find out what they're looking at. Ignatius of Antioch. We got some good people in the audience today. Yes, jail that bundle of sticks. Jail that MiG-15. Yes. We have to jail that AT-4. Tenox says Sean goes live and I'm about to go to bed. It's 10:02 here in Scotland. We'll stay up. We're doing this. John Coleman for $2 goes, and being part of the Don Lemon community goes, N. Matt says Trump has done more for Don Lemon's career than Lemon ever could. I mean, certainly that's an issue here, but you don't get to do what he did and walk away from it. You shouldn't. Especially nowadays with the way the rules are. So we'll get to that in a second here. Erica Thorpe from 199 says, I don't know what you guys are spelling here, but okay. Ammo's currency for $2 says G. I don't get it. I don't get it. Yeah, Debbie, thank you. I apologize. I did not see your super chat. I am so sorry about that. I didn't mean to stiff you on that. I hope you understand. I always try to call out everybody. Whiskey 77 says G. Okay, it's like you guys are trying to like you're doing, it's like you're out in the you're at the game and you're throwing up the signs like and everybody's doing the wave. Apparently we're going to something here. And then the commentary king says A. If you guys are trying to spell something, I don't get it. I don't understand. I really don't understand. It's just like Justice Jackson.
It just don't make no sense.
It don't make no sense. It don't make no sense. Was that really NATO's name for the MiG-15? Yeah. I like it. Hold on. MiG-15, the NATO reporting name for it. Yes. Like we'll do this here. Yes, it really is the name. The Mikoyan Gerovich MiG-15. No, the Mikoyan. Yes, NATO reporting name. And in case you can't see it, we'll zoom in. The NATO reporting name. Then there was also the Russians had the Russians have this currently, also known as the AT-4. They call it the 9K1111, but that is a anti-guided anti-tank missile. Basically, it's like their version of the TOW. But yes. Although it says it's in Russian service, you don't know which one's the faggot or not. You just don't know. You just don't know. Sean can't spell chat. We can't spell Sean. I know. It's okay. Then the French have an anti-tank missile with the same name? I don't think so. I'm not aware. I mean, my friends, I call my friends the same thing as I call the MiG-15. What an interesting coincidence. Yes. It's interesting, yes. Jamie Moodley has been a member for 18 months, says, holiday's almost over. From South Africa to KR. I don't know what. Oh, it's not showing. I don't see the flags on my side of this. Big sad. I'm sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear that. Your holiday's over. That's a bummer. Forgot, in the southern part of the world, it's still warm. Right now, today, here in Ohio, is -10 all day. Is John enjoying prison yet? Not yet. Were all those game lobbies trying to tell me I played like a fighter jet? Yes. Yes, it was. Nate says it's pretty cold. It's like 60 here. Yeah, I'm sure it's cold in Florida today. You people are ridiculous. All right, guys, let's we've been here for a couple minutes. Let's get to this. Here. We've got the indictment for the man of the hour. He was indicted, and he was arrested in Los Angeles, and he was arrested last night. And the funniest thing is, he was getting Don Lemon was in LA for the Grammys, which are this weekend. And Don Lemon got arrested because, surprisingly, as I told you guys, I didn't think it was going to happen. And I said all kinds of garbage was not going to work out. Don Lemon got indicted. Really, I didn't think it was going to happen. I'm surprised they found a jury in Minnesota willing to do it, but they did. They found a jury. And we have the thing. Courtesy of the beautiful people at MSN BC. Although they go by MSN now. I don't know what they're... Now we're not retarded, but hey. This is it, chat. MSN now. The indictment for Don Lemon and multiple others on this. Multiple others. So we see this is in the United States District Court, federal court, chat, in the District of Minnesota. It's actually sealed right now, but it got leaked out to everybody because it's still not released out there on the internet. Lost X J says, congrats on the 27K again. Thank you. So we know some people are here that we know. Nikema Valdez Levy Armstrong, she is the woman, she claimed to be a lawyer and all this shit on top of everything else. Part of the BLM movement in Minneapolis. She had told Louisa Allen she was one of the other people arrested along with Don Lemon. And then Don Ronaldo Lemon, or Ronaldo. I'm not sure how you want to pronounce that, but that is who he is. I didn't know that's who was his nickname. I didn't know that. But there are people who have been arrested. One of them is this woman, Chantel Allen, who is a member of the St. Paul schools in St. Paul, Minnesota, the schools district there. It's really just interesting who is all involved in this stuff. Who is all involved? It really makes you think. Then there's Nikema Armstrong. If you guys have seen her, there is a she is a civil rights attorney in her own words. Who knows what she actually does? But this is her. She's the one where the White House has the picture of her where she's like fake crying. And that is we'll just bring these up so you guys could see. This is Miss Armstrong. She's here on the left. This is her original picture. This one on the right's fake. And they faked out her crying on this one just to show it was her. Can I get into trouble for covering a sealed document? No, it's been put out into public. I am merely like a document that's going to be released, and it's been released by major news outlets. Nah, I don't have any obligation at that point. If I had solicited this, yeah, I'd have problems, but otherwise, no. Nope. I am reporting on news that's been published. And obviously, guys, you know Don Lemon. Don Lemon. You probably saw the thumbnail, but this your boy, Donnie Lemons. Donnie Lemons, chat. Here he is in all his glory into what he does. So we're going to get back to this indictment now. There's a bunch of other names on here. We don't know. I don't know who these people are. This name, Georgia Elise Fort. She's apparently she's a local reporter. I don't know who these redacted names are. And I don't know who Jamel Lundy is and Trahern Cruz. I don't know who they are. Who really knows? And also remember, though, we have William Scott Kelly. Remember, he's the woke guy. The white guy who's just running around screaming, his voice is like this. And he's screaming at all the white people. That's him. So we already know who he is. We already know there's a problem with him. Now, I read the redacted names haven't been arrested yet, but I don't know who they are. Sometimes you can tell who they are and know who they are, Island, but I don't know who they are. Yeah. Presumably they are people who need to be arrested. We don't know for sure. Coke Face says, why are the names being redacted? Because if they haven't been arrested yet, the idea is this is a sealed indictment. It's a secret indictment, meaning they don't want anybody to know the government's coming for them. Because the idea is normally if an indictment gets published and put out in court records, people may find it and run, or they may prepare to fight. Instead, the police have it. They're going to hunt you down and arrest you. And then once you're arrested, they will publish the indictment. So, and this is more of just so they can make the spectacle of arresting people. So, the introductory allegations, though, and actually before we get into it here, there are multiple charges that they're facing. 18 U.S.C. 248 is the FACE Act. 18 U.S.C. 241 is the KKK or Enforcement Act. And then 18 U.S.C. 2 is a different one that we're talking about. We haven't dealt with this one before. and it's called Principles. And it says whoever commits an offense against the United States or aids and abets, counsels, commands, induces, or procures its commission is punishable as a principle. It's aiding and abetting. So aiding and abetting. That's the aiding and abetting statute. That is. Oh. Now from here, where does it start? So it talks about the city's church. That's a church that got raided. And on the morning of Sunday, January 18th at approximately 10:30 a.m., the church's pastor was leading the congregation in a liturgical service, meaning they were holding mass. For if you're a Catholic, they were holding mass. In that service, the church pastor and congregation were seeking to exercise their First Amendment right of religious freedom at a place of religious worship, a right that is also protected by a federal statute codified at 18 U.S.C. 248. After the service commenced, a group of about 20 to 40 agitators, including all of the defendants, entered in a coordinated takeover-style attack that engaged in acts of oppression, intimidation, threats, interference, and physical obstruction alleged herein. And remember, guys, this was a raucous event. It was a raucous event that they engaged in. That was it was a raucous event. Hold on, chat. Somebody just emailed me something here. What is this? Kurt, how you doing, guys? On Civil Law, Kurt, friend of the show, friend of the channel. Hope you're doing well, man. Hope you're doing well. Because Don Lemon just got indicted. And if you guys don't remember, this is what happened at the church they went to.
Renee Good! Renee Good! Renee Good! Renee Good!
And remember, Renee Good's a lady who decided to take a car and try to run over a federal agent and got shot for it.
Renee Good! Justice for Renee Good! Hands up! Don't shoot! Don't shoot! Don't shoot! Don't shoot!
I'm not gonna lie, I probably would have been better off if somebody shot them. Somebody probably would have. We'd have been better off. We would have been better off, chat. Now, moving on from here. They talk about as a result of this, the pastor and congregation were forced to terminate their service. Congregants fled the church building, and it says other congregants took steps to implement an emergency plan. And young children were left to wonder, as one child put it, if their parents were going to die. Yes. Some real things happened. So all defendants. Well, Kurt, it actually is sealed, but it hasn't been officially released. This was leaked probably by Don Lemon or somebody like that to see it, or to MSNBC. Stabby says lawyer can't spell indictment. Did they mess it up? Who messed up indictment? So, it's public now. Okay, well. Anyway, count one to all defendants. 18 U.S.C. 241. The conspiracy against rights, that's the KKK Act. You guys remember, this is the one where under 18 U.S.C. 241, it's a conspiracy against rights. This was done to target the Klan when they were harassing black people in the South. And it says that two or more, because that's all it takes for a conspiracy, two or more persons conspire to injure, oppress, threaten, or intimidate any person in any state, which qualifies any person, a person in the church, inside Minnesota is a state. And if that person is in the free exercise or enjoyment of any right or privilege secured to him by the Constitution or laws of the United States, Well, you have the free exercise of religion, but you also have the right to not be harassed in your services under the FACE Act as well. And the next thing is the conspiracy to violate rights, and that are also in violation here in the FACE Act, and that's 18 USC 248. The freedom of access to clinic entrances. So that gives you your face. I want to take my face off. And this talks about here what's prohibited under federal law. Well, you can't go to an abortion clinic under Part 1, but under A2, by threat or force or physical obstruction, intentionally injure, intimidate, or interfere, or attempt to injure, interfere, or intimidate with any person lawfully exercising or seeking exercise of First Amendment right of religious freedom at a place of worship. So they're violating two separate laws. Chat. Now from here, they talk about they reincorporate the paragraphs here, and they said the object of the conspiracy. Well, they go on to talk about January 18th, what happened here. They agreed with one another in persons known and unknown to the grand jury, and that's how they established there might be unindicted co-conspirators. And why did they do this? Well, they wanted to go to this church, and they wanted to go to City's church here, and the free exercise and enjoyment of rights and privileges secured to them by the laws of the United States. And because such persons have exercised that right, namely the exercise of the First Amendment right of religious freedom at a place of worship, and they talked about that, like, yes, it's the exercise right. It's the exercise of the First Amendment right of religious freedom, but also the right to assemble. And they point out that it violates 18 USC 248, and then it's 18 USC 241. Now we move on to what are the manner and means. So in order to achieve this conspiracy, Armstrong and Allen, remember, these are the two we talked about that were kind of the ringleaders. The woman who is in charge of a lot of BLM stuff, and then the lady who claims she's kind of like a civil rights organizer. These two work together to make a plan. They work together to make a plan. So what do they do here? Well, all these defendants, we got to here. They dubbed something called Operation Pull Up, and you heard it, guys. You've heard her talk about it before when she's interviewed. She's like, we call it Operation Pull Up. And the idea is the concept in street culture, when you tell somebody to pull up, that means you tell them, like, get at me. Get up in my face, get over here, do your thing, step to me. And they promoted it on the Instagram accounts. They said everybody met at a shopping center for a pre-operational briefing, which, yes, is correct. They advised other co-conspirators, including the defendants, including Don Lemon, about the target of their operation, and provided instructions on how the operation would be conducted once they arrived at the church. Once in the church, all the defendants enter the church to conduct a takeover-style attack and engaged in various acts in the furtherance of the conspiracy. Yeah. Should call every street sweeper. Well, no, somebody should have hit them with a street sweeper, though. Imagine that, just... That would have just been like... squeegeeing them off the floor forever. All right, hold on here 1 second, chat. That little voice says, was Operation Drive-By taken? Funny! You're a funny guy. You're a funny guy. Newsletter says the two ladies arrested and released the other day probably sang like canaries. Maybe. But I mean, really think about it. If you guys remember, Don Lemon filmed the whole thing. So they don't really know, like, outside of outside details, we pretty much have all of it. Now, they talk about once at the church, they engaged in the takeover style attack. And they're overt acts, chat. Now, remember, overt acts, those are the acts that show you are taking steps in furtherance of the conspiracy. You're doing the overt acts here. So what do? Well, they did multiple acts here. So on January 17th, they posted a flyer on 2 Instagram accounts advertising an anti-IS operation called Operation Pull-Up, telling fellow agitators where to meet to prepare for the operation and exhorting them to be ready to mobilize. And they talk about the, all the ICE stuff here. They also posted a similar on her own personal Instagram. And on January 28th, all the named defendants gathered with 20 or 30 other co-conspirators for a pre-operation briefing led by Armstrong and Allen. Remember, the ones who put it all together. And they say, number 4, what do? Well, they advise the other co-conspirators about the target of their operation and provide instructions on how it would be conducted. So, yeah, it's quite a bit of what's going on there. Let's see here. Autodoc says, so any of the alleged acts involve something other than talking or existing in a certain place? Yeah, well, if you're showing a conspiracy, we planned it. We sat down and talked about it. We put this together. We put that together. So, yes, all the ways you would establish thing, you can use that all in that regard. So, I hope that makes sense. I hope that made sense to you. If it doesn't, let me know. I can re-explain it. Operation Finger Sniff. The conspiracy is the acts, then? Yes, the overt acts are done in furtherance of the conspiracy. So the overt acts are part of your conspiracy. Because if you just agree to do something, that's not enough. The overt acts are steps you've taken in furtherance of the conspiracy. So you got to do a little bit more there. Now, they point out here, and then the overt acts also include, the actual operation. So on the morning of January 18th, Don Lemon began live streaming on his internet-based show. Notice they didn't call it a blogger. Well, yeah, we're going to get to that. I think that's where we got to discuss it. We got to discuss it because maybe he is. They point out Dunn was in Minnesota with an organization gearing up for resistance operations. Resistance. So cringe. And he took steps to maintain operational secrecy by reminding certain co-conspirators not to disclose the target of the operation and stepped away momentarily so his mic would not accidentally divulge portions of the mission planning. We feel wow, he's being very mindful. Although remember, for example, guys, if you remember during the Gulf War when Geraldo was with a Marine unit that he was embedded with, he was sitting there drawing he was on. If you guys don't remember this, Geraldo Rivera was behind a armored personnel carrier, and he was drawing out a map of we are here, they're here, we're trying to circle around them, and he drew up the whole battle plan in a rough shape on the ground. It's actually very funny. It's very funny, and it caused a big stink during the invasion. And it says, during a discussion with them, Don thanked them for what she was doing and assured her that he was not saying what's going on. And they say, Defendant Armstrong also explained Operation Pull Up was a clandestine operation in which she and the other agitators would show up somewhere that is a key location where the targets don't expect us, and we disrupt business as usual. That's what we're about to go do right now. And Don Lemon said, I'll see you there. Well, once again, if he had just stayed outside, he'd probably be okay, and I wouldn't think there's anything for him. This is before heading to church. Lemon advised his live stream audience that we're going to head to the operation. He said, we're not going to give any of the information away. He maintained OPSEC. I said the pre-op briefing, Defendant and Allen led others in chants that they would use at the church, including, this is what community looks like. And then ICE out of Minnesota. And she also urged her co-conspirators they have a duty to fight for our freedom and a duty to win. And as a group prepared to head towards the church, they directed her co-conspirators to stay bumper to bumper to make sure everybody gets through the light and confirm that everyone had the address. It's actually proper things to do when you are getting ready to do the op. Does everybody have the address? Can we all stick together? Because if we don't, we're all going to get separated out, and then we all pull up to the church, and it's only the lead car, and everybody else is stuck a half mile back. So no, we all want to show up at once to hit at once. That's actually sound planning. It's very sound planning. Island says, "Are you a big, beautiful base lawyer?" I try to be. I try to be. And hold on one second, chat. I have to pay the water bill. Give me 1 second. All right, chat, I'm back. Sorry. I put on my Borat bathing suit now. You'll never get this. All right. So, over at Act number 9, at the briefing, Armstrong provided operational guidance, meaning how to do stuff. And one of the things was the first wave of agitators should go in an undercover capacity and position themselves around the church. And it says they shouldn't sit together and they should not wear anything that is activist identifying. That's right. No anti-ICE, nothing pro anything. Just dress like normal people. Yeah. Huh. So those who had anything activism identifying should wait and come in with the second wave. I mean, think about all the planning they put together here. Autodoc, I'll agree that this is bad, but I'm worried what's next. If obstruction is talking, they're doing more than talking. They're talking. They're at the rally. Like, think about this. They're at a rally point. They've met up. They're talking. They've broken up into teams. They're telling each team what to do and how to plan. They're getting ready to convoy over. They're in a convoy. They're maintaining OPSEC. Like, they're doing a lot more than just talking. They're doing a lot of stuff. They're doing a lot of acts and furtherance of it. It's not merely just talking about wanting to kill somebody. They went and got a shovel, a bag of lime, a rope, a gun. They figured out an address, how to drive there. This is all kind of that stuff they're doing. They're getting to it. They're kind of making it there. Yeah, it would also be weird if they started arresting anti-abortion protesters at 3 a.m. because they already do that. They already do that. They say, continuing on the morning of January 18th, all of the defendants got into vehicles and traveled to the church. While en route to the church, one of the defendants told Lemon they had to catch up to the others. And Lemon replied, let's go catch up. I think that one of these guys is the driver of the car Don was in. Don Lemon instructed and an identified male said, don't give anything away. He says, we can't say too much. We don't want to give it up. And Don Lemon tells this whole thing. All these words are literally there if you watch it. And they say, continue on to the morning. They enter the church with the first wave positioning themselves among the congregants and the second wave commencing the disruptive takeover. As the pastor began his sermon, defendant Armstrong interrupted the service with loud declarations about the church harboring a director of ICE. Based! It indicating that the time for judgment had come and that other co-conspirators immediately joined up by yelling and blowing whistles in a takeover attack, all of which quickly caused the search to become chaotic, menacing and traumatizing to church members. Yes. While inside the church, Armstrong, Allen Kelly, and blah, blah, and other people here and others. And because notice, this part doesn't include Don Lemon because it's talking about the chants. Don Lemon didn't do the chants. Saying, ice out, hand up, don't do it, hands up, don't do it. Stand up, fight back. Stand up, fight back. And then while gesturing in an aggressive and hostile manner, which congregants in the past are perceived as violence and a potential prelude to a mass shooting. I mean, in that first couple of seconds, yeah, because you're just sitting there and all of a sudden somebody's like, ah! You're like, what the hell's going on? I'm here to learn about Jesus. Why are people screaming? Like, I can totally understand that. Now, after a minute, I think they realize, they're like, oh my God, these guys are just annoying assholes. But yeah, at first they're like, what the fuck is happening here? Auto Doc says, well, we tell them to leave. They wouldn't leave and then have them arrested. The Minneapolis police didn't show up. What do you do? It's against federal law to do this. There's no other answer. And if you're worried about like, oh, it's going to be used against us, buddy, it's already being used against us. It's just the shoes on the other foot now. And they say, while inside the church, the defendants, including Don Lemon, oppressed, threatened, and intimidated the congregants by physically occupying most of the main aisle and rows of chairs near the front of the church, engaging in menacing and threatening behavior, for some chanting and yelling loudly at the pastor and congregants, and for others physically obstructing them as they attempted to exit and or move about within the church. And they say, while inside the church, the one defendant stood around the main aisles to intimidate the members and obstruct and interfere with their freedom of movement. And Chad, if you're thinking this doesn't sound so bad, as I think Ryan Mullally kind of brought up today, pretend this is Alex Jones wandering through an abortion clinic with a bunch of protesters. Is that okay? Alex Jones bursts into the room, says, look, I know you're trying to, the globalists trying to do this. They want you to murder that baby. They just want to adrenochrome. Oh my God, please don't do that. Please don't do that, ma'am. You just got to help us fight the globalists. Like, do you think that would sound good? Do you think everybody would be like, oh, that's okay. That's journalism too? No, they wouldn't. They wouldn't. Right when you're going to a mosque, no, stick with the Alex Jones at an abortion clinic. Stick with the Alex Jones at an abortion clinic thing, chat. Yes. So they did this in a threatening manner. They loudly berated the pastor with questions about Christian nationalism and Christians wanting to have their faith be the law of the land. And it says, while inside the church, another defendant participated by standing in the main aisle with others, contributing to the physical obstruction and intimidation of the congregants. They were participating loudly in some of the chants, saying that the ICE agent must be forced to leave or he must, run out. He wasn't there. And they said, well, inside the church, another defendant, stood in the main aisle. They're standing around in the main aisle and obstructing. There's another one, and Kelly's the crazy white guy running around who's, let me see if I can find him. Let me see here, chat. Oh, here we go. This is William Kelly. You guys have seen him before. This is him.
All these pretend Christians, all these comfortable white people who are living lavish, comfortable lives while children are dragged into concentration camps. You're living real life, nice lives with your lattes, doing absolutely nothing for your Latino and Somali brothers and sisters. You come here to a man wearing a suit. Is a preacher? Did Jesus wear a suit? Did Jesus profit off the words? No. Jesus would dine with immigrants. You do not touch me. Touch me again and see what happens.
Hey, you can't.
You are a fake Christian. Why are you?
So notice they tried to get him to leave, and now he's threatening him with violence. Bam! I hope this fucker goes to fucking prison now. Suffer, commies. Suffer. Bam. 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 Yes, also imagine thinking those Somalis are my brothers and sisters. Like, it's like, then I want a DNA test. So. Tim the Tool says, we'll talk about the civil penalties for the KKK Act. But right now we're talking about the criminal penalties for the KKK Act. Those are the big ones right now. So here we go. So they talk about all these people stopping. And Kelly ran around saying, this ain't God's house. This is the house of the devil. And approached one female congregant who was with young children and demanded to know in a hostile manner why she was not involved in support of the takeover operation. They screamed, Nazi! And it says, ask child congregants, do you know your parents are Nazis? They're gonna burn in hell. It's too bad nobody beat him into a fucking coma. It's too bad nobody beat him into a fucking coma. And then Don Lemon told his live stream audience about congregants leaving the church about a young man who Lemon was frightened, scared, and crying. Don also observed the congregate section reactions were understandable because the experience was traumatic and uncomfortable, which he said is the purpose. You know, you're not supposed to do this. You're not supposed to do it. And he says the operation continued. Don Lemon acknowledged the nature of it by expressing surprise that police hadn't yet arrived at the church. And he said the whole point of this operation is to disrupt. And yeah, it is disruption. And you know what? Mission frickin' accomplished. That is totally, yes, you did the goal. You did the goal. JDK, we'll get to all that. We'll get to all that here. We'll get to all that. Carly Ellison says, let's watch it with the F words, please. Which ones? It's a lot of F words. Yes, imagine going to a mosque or a synagogue and doing this. You would not be allowed to. You would not be allowed to. You can't do this stuff. As the operation continued, defendant Lemon acknowledged that the nature of it by expressing surprise police hadn't come yet. He says, during the takeover, he said, who is the person we should talk to? Is there a pastor or something? And then she pointed towards the front of the church, but noted the pastor might have run away. He didn't run away. He dealt with you devil demon spawn. And he stood his ground in front of his flock and dealt with you scum by himself. He was left alone to do it. He was left alone to do it. He was left alone to do it, chat. And it's not good. He stood up, though. The pastor stood tall against these guys and hung in there. And absolutely hung in there. Hold on here, chat. I got the email. I gotta send this email here. Oh, hold on here, chat. I need to do another. Chat, hold on, here we go. Here's email address. All right, chat. There we go. Oh, I hate it when it does this. All right, chat. Hold on, I had to fix that. Here we go. All right, there we go. Sorry, somebody asked me for my email, and I made sure I got it back to them. Okay, moving on to where we are. With other co-conspirators standing by, Lemon and Fort approached the pastor and largely surrounded him to his front and side, sitting in close proximity in an attempt to oppress and intimidate him, and physically obstructed his freedom of movement while Don Lemon peppered him with questions to promote the operation's message. And this is what I told Eric Hunley earlier. This is not journalism. Right now, he's sitting there just pestering these guys. He's lecturing them. He's treating them like shit. And doing things poorly. You know, that's what they're doing here. I'm setting up for spam. No. The thrill as he types. Sorry, I had to get that done. Okay. Let's see here. Stop smacking your teeth, please. Like this. I don't know which thing you want me to do there, because I don't know which thing I'm doing. I don't know. Stop cybering. So we heard that, and guys, we'll go back through that Don Lemon was harassing these people. He was sitting there lecturing them. Then when they didn't agree with them, he followed the one guy out the door and wouldn't leave him alone. You know, it was clear. And Don Lemon was just giving shit to everybody who dared, like, say, why are you here? And it's not good. And this
was shameful. It's shameful to interrupt a public gathering of Christians in worship. So,
but there were folks who will say,
I have to take care of my flock.
Okay, but listen, we live in there's a constitution in the First Amendment to freedom of speech and freedom to assemble and protest.
Not in a church. You don't have a freedom of assembly. Like, that's not he's not the government. This guy's not the government. You don't have the right to be doing that here, Don.
We're here to worship. We're here to worship Jesus, because that's the hope of these cities. That's the hope of the world, is Jesus Christ.
I want to be very respectful. Please don't push me, though.
We're here to worship Jesus. Yes. That's why we're here.
You can see this guy. He's like leaning back. He's like, get away from me, you fucking asshole. Dylan, please don't push me. I wish this was like J.J. Watt and fucking broke his jaw. So.
Okay, that's why we're here. That's what we're about.
Don't you think Jesus would be understanding
we're about
no, he wouldn't.
Love these folks?
We're about spreading the love of Jesus.
But did you try to talk to them as a
no
Christian?
one is willing to talk.
He's not obligated to talk to them. You are not obligated to break bread with interlopers and trespassers.
Okay.
I have to take care of my church and my family, so I asked that you actually would also leave this building.
You don't want us to chronicle what happened?
Unless you're here to worship.
I'm always worship. I'm a Christian.
We're here to worship.
No, you're not. You're not a Christian. You're a Christian like I'm a health conscious eater, Don. But let's be real. I eat as healthy as much as you are a Christian.
We're here to worship. Okay.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. What do you think of this?
Look at the reaction on his face. Look at the reaction on his face. Look at the reaction on his face there. Oh, sorry, wrong court document, chat. That's Luigi Mangioni's. It says, while talking to the pastor, Lemon stood so close to the pastor that Lemon caused the pastor's right hand to graze Lemon, who then admonished the pastor, please don't push me. The pastor told Lemon and the others to leave. Defendant Lemon and the other defendants ignored the request and did not immediately leave the church. That's correct. After causing most congregants to flee, some of the defendants and other agitators engaged in a chant proclaiming, who shut this down? We shut this down. As one congregant reported, some of the agitators blocked the stairs leading to the church child care area, and it made it difficult and hazardous for parents to retrieve their children, causing some to take alternative routes in and around the church. Too bad none of them got shot. Too bad none of them got shot. At one point, Lemon posted himself at the main door of the church where he confronted congregants and physically obstructed them as they tried to exit the church. Okay, he didn't physically obstruct them, but he, to challenge them with facts about U.S. immigration policy. He did. He did. Autodoc, returning. He has no right to speech in what he's doing. He has no right. He has no right to do what he did. He has no right to do what he did there. That's not fair to what he did. He has no right to do this. He has no right to do it. He's doing more than simple, he's not just watching it all. He's acting like a commissar and a propagandist for them. He's working with them. It's not as simple as, he's just, a simple reporter man. As a minivan full of children, and it keeps going here. It keeps going here. You guys have to think about it this way. You just don't get to do what he did there. You just don't get to do what he did there. And I'm not trying to yell at you, but he has not done simple journalism at this point. You don't get to do this. And this is more than speech. This is action that he's undertaken. It's not acceptable to what he did. It's not acceptable what he did. Yeah. Free speech does not mean you could. Yeah, that's correct. We have time, place, and manner restrictions. And it says, as a minivan full of children was preparing to depart, Kelly walked in front of the minivan and angrily yelled at the occupants. And Armstrong and Fort stood in front of the minivan while Fort interviewed Armstrong. Autodoc, it's the totality of it all. It's the totality of everything he did. It's not just that he was there. It's that he was there. He was trespassing and doing all of this. All of it together. It all comes together. It's all a totality analysis. So it's all a totality analysis. Now it says count, and what these guys are doing is just fucking awful to these people. It was absolutely fucking awful. It was absolutely fucking awful what they did. Once again, guys, this is Alex Jones interviewing an abortion doctor. This is Alex Jones interviewing an abortion doctor. Are they okay with that?
I mean, this is unacceptable. It's changed.
Are we okay with are anybody here has got a problem with that? Are you okay with Alex Jones doing this to an abortion doctor? Barging into an abortion clinic tomorrow and doing it? No. 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 Count 2. 18 U.S.C. 248. Interfering with the FACE Act because it said freedom, religious freedom at a place of worship. So they go on here and they talk about same old defendants again, and they interfered, and they clearly did here. They clearly did. They used the force, threat of force. Think about it. William Kelly said, touch me, see what happens. If everybody heard that, okay, I guess we're not doing it. And they interfered with the multiple persons, including the church, congregants, clergy, and staff, who were lawfully and exercising seeking the First Amendment right of religious freedom at a place of worship, which conduct resulted in bodily injury to one of the congregants. And they say section 248, and then also paragraph or section 2. So yeah, and I don't know who got hurt here, and they don't detail that, and that's a little weird. They don't detail that, but which resulted in bodily injury to one of the congregants. I don't know which one did, but They didn't include that, so I don't know what's going on there. But anyways, Pam Bondi, Harmeet Dillon, Jesus Osset, and they got these guys got to do their job. That it's time for them to work. It's time for them to get stuff done. It's time for them to get stuff done. It's time to stop screwing around. It's time for them to do things here. Now, you guys, if for the FACE Act here, the FACE Act, if you're caught violating it, what are the penalties? Well, if it's your first time, you could be not in prison for more than 1 year or fined. Okay, well that seems okay. It's a Class A misdemeanor under federal law. For the KKK Act, also known as the Enforcement Act of 1870, you shall be fined under this title or in prison for not more than 10 years, or both. You know, you could be fined or 10 years in prison. So they can get 10 years. They can get up to 10 years. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. So there you go. This is very serious for them. It's very serious for these guys. Very serious. Oh, Margie is saying one of the congregants ran away and fell, breaking her arm. Oof. Oof, that is rough. That is rough. And then from here, guys, there is was outside the federal courthouse in LA where Don Lemon was arrested. This nutbag lady showed up in front of the things going there. Oh my God, Chud Logic is just drilling it with the tectone things. But anyways, this woman here, if you want to see a crazy cat lady talk, here we go. It's only a couple minutes long.
This way, please, man. This way. Down there front, please.
So I'm here representing the Committee for the First Amendment, which is made up of about 3,000 members of the entertainment industry, prepared to fight for our constitutional right.
What constitutional right?
Assembly, protest, freedom of the press.
What, you have the right to do all of that inside a private meeting, inside a church? That's how that works? That's how that works? Really? Really? That's what we're saying works now? Huh. 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 Interesting. Huh. Yeah, it's a Committee for State Security, yes. But let's see what she's got else to say.
The arrest of Don Lemon doing his journalistic duty is one page more out of an authoritarian playbook. And we say enough is enough. We have to fight to protect our rights. Many of our fathers and grandfathers fought and died for these rights. And we are not ready to sit and be quiet. We have to speak up. I'm
not going to lie, but I'm thinking your father and grandfather would not have been happy to see a black guy storm into a church full of white people with a bunch of communists and start harassing good God-fearing church folk. It's some loser lady from the Committee for the First Amendment. Yeah, those men also use the R word, the N word, all the fucking time. So,
American who believes in our Constitution has to speak up. Don Lemon is a professional journalist. He and his producer were doing their job. Nothing more, nothing less.
This is their job?
And he's been arrested. And they'll make up all kinds of defamatory things to say about him. That's what they're doing. This is how autocrats act.
Is it really
we
how
can't
autocrats
fall
act?
for it. We have to speak up. When a red line is crossed like this, we cannot be silent. And I want... You want to say something? No. Okay. So I know Don Lemon. My husband created CNN, and I will fight for their right to speak.
Is this Jane? Wait, is this Jane Fonda? Oh my God, it's Jane Fonda. Because her husband's Ted Turner. Holy shit. Wow. She looks pretty good for 88. I thought she was in like worse shape than this. So, yeah, also, she's not dead. Hanoi Jane, too bad she didn't get killed in a fucking airstrike.
Guaranteed in our Constitution. They arrested the wrong Don. Thank you very much.
Also, real quick, chat. I didn't know this before, but you know how these microphones are together? I didn't know how they were placed together because they're clearly not taped together. Apparently, there's a big circle thing with a bunch of holes in it, and they put all the microphones in it. I didn't know that. I learned something today. So, it's kind of neat.
He's a journalist.
Also, the complaint says parents were blocking their children.
I can't hear. I can't hear.
The criminal complaint says parents were blocked from their children. People were terrorized. They couldn't exit. They thought it was a shooting in a church. How does that make you feel? Give a response to that.
Hey, we can only take questions if we can do it in an orderly manner. So right now, this gentleman's asking a question.
So you can hear some guys asking a question and some Karen screaming at him right now. So.
So the feds are alleging this wasn't peaceful. That parents were blocked from their children. People were not allowed to exit the church. Some people thought it was a church shooting. What was your response?
This is why we need independent journalists who will tell us the truth about what happens. We have learned from experience that this administration lies in order to...
You respond to Donald Trump attacking civilians getting murdered. Why is civilians getting murdered under this administration? Donald Trump attacks churches and hospitals. So you answer that.
Well, yeah, it's just a bunch of loser bullshit. So just a bunch of garbage, just a bunch of commie garbage, chat. That's all this is, communist claptrap and commie garbage. There was also just recently, this is the best thing here. Next came up Karen Bass, the mayor of LA, and this is the best part ever. I didn't know that. It accidentally played for me for a second, chat. Karen Bass is hated by the communists and the lunatics in LA that are left wing. They absolutely hate Karen Bass because while Karen goes out and hangs out with communist leaders around the world, she basically has the LA police do all the shit they don't want, and they're very mad about her. So listen to this lady screaming. This gets good, chat. This gets good fast.
Good. Come close. Everybody closer, please. Can we get everybody closer? Tighter, please. Here.
Notice they're making people. This is how they manipulate the fucking pictures. Everybody get it tighter so there's more of you and it looks more impressive when we film it for the news. It's all fucking propaganda, chat. It's all propaganda.
Here, like a wall. Please, tighter.
Well,
I think you get me to move back a little bit. I just have to say, after leaving the court proceedings, I am very glad that our renowned, esteemed reporter, Don Lemon, will be released on his own recognizance because he should not have been in court anyway. How far is this going to go?
It's going to go all the way till he goes to prison. It's going all the way.
155 days away from celebrating the 250th anniversary of our democracy that has been under attack every day since this administration took over. I am not a lawyer, but I will tell you to listen to this court proceedings that made no sense at all. What they described as his crime, from my perspective, a layperson's perspective, was the
meaning you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, babe.
Work of a reporter. He went into the church along with the protesters. He covered the story. He listened to what the people said who were in the church. That is his crime. It made no sense to me. And frankly, if I were the administration, if I were the other side, I would be embarrassed by that court proceeding that actually wanted to limit his movements so he could not go anywhere except for Minnesota to New York.
No, I did not,
journalist
Gabby.
Who travels the country.
I did not see
so
that.
We have seen protesters under attack. We have seen people being snatched off our street.
Based so far. 2 base things, Karen Bass has said.
And now all of you are at risk.
Bait.
And this is just unacceptable. This assault on our democracy has got to end. And you, all journalists, play such a critical role. And I just want you to know, and I think I could speak on behalf of this crowd, we are all going to fight every day for your ability to tell the truth. For your
Yes, journalists, we're going to fight for you. Yeah, no. No, you remember, chat, you think you hate journalists enough, but you don't. You don't hate them as much as they deserve. You don't hate them enough, chat.
Your ability to cover this story and any other story. We have to draw the line in the sand and say we will not allow for the dismantling of our democracy. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
They shut that lady up. That's sad. I wanted to hear her keep screaming.
I consider him a journalist. What all of the journalists here would do who want to cover a story.
Sorry, chat. I said quartering yells at staff. Amfest scam. IDubs felted by Brittany Venti. And DSP always felted. On the Kino Casino tonight at 9. Only on Kick. Oh, yes. At the Kino Casino. Oh. And guys, this is this is what Don Lemon did, though, when he was in the church. Here's Don going forward. And this is Don at the church speaking to the lady leading the show.
Okay.
This is we're going to skip ahead here to.
What did they say?
Well, I'm interested in being recorded.
Okay. Are you sure? You're a member of the church or you're
I'm not.
Oh, okay. I thought you were.
Try to run away.
All right, we'll see if we can find it.
So Don Lemon goes up to the pastor here.
What do you think of this?
I mean, this is unacceptable. It's shameful. It's shameful to interrupt a public gathering of Christians in worship. So,
but there were folks who will say,
I have to take care of my flock.
okay, but listen, we live there's a constitution in the First Amendment to freedom of speech and freedom to assemble and protest.
We're here to worship. We're here to worship Jesus because that's the hope of these cities. That's the hope of the world is Jesus Christ.
I want to be very respectful. Please don't push me, though.
We're here to worship Jesus.
Yes.
That's why we're here.
Yeah.
Okay, that's why we're here. That's what we're about.
Do you think Jesus would be understanding
we're about
and love these folks?
We're about spreading the love of Jesus.
But did you try to talk to them as a
no
Christian?
one is willing to talk.
Okay.
I have to take care of my church and my family, so I asked that you actually would also leave this building.
You don't want us to
Unless you're here to
So he's being asked to leave. He's being asked to leave. What's he doing 2 minutes later? 2 minutes later, he's...
The protesters that went to her office and she got mad at me and called me all kinds of names. They don't like it when you confront them. They don't like it when you practice journalism. So
Is confronting people journalism, Don? Is confronting people journalism, buddy? Is it? Is it? Is that how it works?
anyways, but they're still in the middle of the church. And there they are back there. And the music is so loud in here. I want you to show this, Mike. These guys are praying. They have their hands up. And there you see. And look, this is a juxtaposition. This shows you just how divided America is. When you look at the protesters here.
Yeah, a bunch of communists interfering with people trying to worship Jesus. Yes, big division, Don. Yes, and what are we? We're at now. You were told 52 minutes leave. 58 minutes and 46 seconds. You're still in the church now until nearly 59 minutes.
I'm going to take you outside of the church and just show you a little bit, but yeah, that was.
Notice he doesn't leave. He's wandering around the church property. He won't leave.
Interesting to watch this guy here. Look, he's hugging his kid, and you know, I imagine it's uncomfortable and traumatic for the people here. But again, careful; it's very slippery right here.
I wish he would have fallen and cracked his head and paralyzed himself.
It's uncomfortable and traumatic for the people here, but that's what really careful, please. Really slippery. Not kidding. That's what protesting is about. And so there's you see the police are here. They haven't come in yet, but that police are here. And this is where folks are leaving.
And notice the police are standing down because they've had orders not to interfere with the communist agitation, because this is a low-level insurgency being operated.
Just want to show you, and that's the inside of the church there where they are.
He was told to leave.
And so the pastor, I don't know if you can see in there, the pastor's hug. What do you think of this?
There's a harmless Christian here that wants to praise the Lord with my son, and now I got to go home. I'm sorry that you guys are so angry.
I'm just chronicling. I'm not with the group.
Oh,
You're chronicling. Why are you fucking with people? If you're chronicling, you'd accept their answer and move along. You're lecturing like a commissar.
To say?
Can you understand why they're angry?
I don't understand any of this because I'm a simple man. I'm a simple man who loves the Lord and is a good father.
Based, simple, love the Lord, based.
So this is what we look forward to, is coming, being with our family and
based, being with your family
and praising Jesus. And that's not
based, praising Jesus.
Not something that we have to run away from. So this is kind of a bad day for us, but you know, we're going to heaven. So that's the best
based
news we got.
Do you understand that some of these folks feel voiceless?
I don't understand because right now I'm so upset right now. I don't really have I'm thirsty and I can't think very clearly. So what I want to do is just say, we love you.
Yeah.
My son and I love you guys.
Yeah.
And
I'm a journalist. They're activists.
Based. He's a far better Christian than I am, because I would have just been F this, F this, F this, F you, F you. That man is a far better Christian than I will ever hope to be in a million years. Don's like, oh, I'm just here as a journalist. No, you're not, you fucking asshole.
simplest thing we can say is that we love you guys.
Absolute chat.
What do you mean, you guys?
Well, whoever's here in this house.
Okay.
We don't distinguish between Christian and non-Christian. We love everyone. We want everyone to come to heaven.
Yeah.
We want people to go to heaven.
Yeah.
That's the main thing. We want folks to go to heaven. And if we need to talk about these things, then I mean, this isn't the time for that, really. I mean,
But don't you think until we go to heaven, if you believe in that there should be some sort of peace here on earth, and that people should have agency, and we shouldn't be beating people up off the street, and we should be abiding by the Constitution?
I think that's just a little bit loaded for me right now. What you're doing.
Why are we doing this at church, Don?
So,
Well, I don't want to interview right now. I don't want to interview. I just want to tell you guys I love you. I don't need to interview right now because I want to be with my son. It's Sunday. It's time for rest and for renewal.
Like in this car, this one's right on the corner.
And I would like to answer your question. I just can't right now.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. The protesters are still inside of the church. Police have showed up, but they haven't come inside yet. A couple of the members are speaking to me. They're upset. And you can imagine, of course they would be upset.
And now he goes back into the church over 10 minutes later. You were told to leave, you fucking asshole. You were told to leave. You were told to leave.
So the crowd has significantly dwindled. And the reason, can I talk to you, sir? What do you think of this?
While I agree with everybody's freedom to protest, these people have come into our house and they've interrupted our worship. This is a house of peace, and we try to proclaim that. And this stirs division and rancor. And in the end, it's not helpful. Ultimately, I believe they've lost. They've emptied a house of worship. Everybody's gone home. Their point has been proven worthless. And so, in the end, I think they lose. But more importantly, if I was to break into any of their houses uninvited, cause derision and upset, according to their values, I would be kicked out ultimately. It's not a good way. I feel violated. I feel interrupted. I feel angry.
May I ask you something? When you were saying if you had showed up at their house, they're saying that people are showing up at houses where they're citizens or without due process.
That doesn't matter. That doesn't mean somebody else is getting violated. You don't come violate a third party. If the government's kicking in someone's door and fucking with somebody else, you don't kick in someone else's door and screw with innocent people. It makes no sense.
And breaking and entering the house. One that we saw, I've been watching from New York, with a battering ram into someone's private property. And there's no recourse. There's no, you understand what I'm saying?
This is all part of a much larger dialogue, in my opinion. On one.
He's not tone deaf. He just doesn't care. He's a communist. He's commie scum. I have to say, do they have warrants? No, most of this ICE stuff is being done without judicial warrants. They're using the ICE administrative warrants, but no, they're not using search warrants or arrest warrants in the proper sense.
On one side are people who watched a previous administration bring 12 million people in over the course of 4 years. And many of them undocumented, many of them criminals, etc.
Notice, guys, we are now like 13 minutes after Don was told to leave. Go home. Go home. 15 minutes now after Don was told to leave. He has not gone home. He has not gone home.
Talked to the folks, and he said that, this was a disruption and,
Yeah, because they didn't read the Bible where Jesus came into his father's house and flipped over tables because they were...
This is where you need it. People wonder why you need AR-15s and 30-round magazines. This is the type of thing you need it for. 30-round magazines. This is what that was invented for. Now let's just count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Yeah, we're getting up there. We're getting up there. But this is why this is what 30-round magazines were invented for.
Pretending to worship the Lord.
Oh, yeah, and look at all this. Yeah, we pretty much get 30, get 30 in one blow.
They were pretending to follow the word, but their actions were not in alignment. So we came and flipped over a table today. This injustice, this unrighteousness will not stand. You cannot
Especially this guy right here. He deserves like about 15.
Be a pastor while also being the director of the field office for ICE in St. Paul.
Do you?
Absolutely not.
You're going to continue to do this?
We will continue to do whatever is necessary to bring justice to our community and justice for Renee Good.
Thank you. And now what? You can't tell me, right? Do you want me to hold your mic or you're good? You're good? Okay.
And you can talk to any of the people, out here
talk to these guys.
as to why they're here standing for justice.
Let's talk to these guys. Thank you, Nikki. I hate to
What's up, Don?
interrupt the loudest guy here. How are you? Nice to meet you. What's your name?
William Kelly. I've actually filmed for Jolly Good Ginger on your show.
Oh, wow.
I'm a good buddy of Jolly.
Yes. How are you?
Yeah,
Why are you here?
I'm here to stand up for immigrants.
Oh, wow. It's like, oh, my God, I work with your fucking producers and shit. Oh, wow. It's like, wow, you're kind of like plugged into this group a lot. It's like you're plugged into this group a lot. You're plugged into this group a lot, buddy. Huh. Wow. Isn't that a coinky dink? It just happens to be that way. This group of scumbag Bolsheviks. I work with you, Don. Yeah, imagine that.
Rights. I'm here to stand up for humanity. We're seeing a clear violation of the Constitution every day. So I'm standing up with my immigrant community. We're all immigrants. We're all the sons of immigrants in this nation.
Yeah.
My ancestors showed up at Ellis Island. We're given a name. We're given citizenship. Why?
And guys, when it freezes up, this is not me. So we're just gonna keep it going here. Well,
So we're here, lives are dragged into concentration camps. So if
there's concentration camps, you mean like FDR did? I'm sure this guy loves FDR.
Their son, oh no, nobody should have comfort right now while our immigrant communities are afraid to leave their houses.
Yeah. When I explained to you that most of the people they're detaining.
I am actually enjoying my comfort right now. And you know what? Looking out at the frozen hellscape of Northeast Ohio, it feels really nice right now. I feel very comfortable.
Have mental convictions and no criminal records, and that immigrants.
You all have to go back.
Undocumented people commit far less crime than native-born Americans who said.
You all have to go back. Here's the neat thing. They should be committing no crime because they shouldn't be here. If they weren't here, those crimes would not have been committed.
I was a biased journalist, but because I presented him with facts.
It's really easy to ignore what's happening. Just as in Poland in 1939, communities ignored a concentration camp a mile away from them. It is really easy. So that's why we're here. We're here to hopefully change a few minds, hopefully to wake a few people up. I was encouraging people in there to be at Whipple with me later today, standing up for, the community.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Don.
We're both veterans.
Yeah, go ahead. Tell me.
And we both fought in a war.
Also, just remember, apparently people have done the research. This guy was a big fucking shitbird who didn't do anything and got almost dishonorably discharged. This guy probably, I don't know what he did, but probably sucked dicks in a porta shit or somewhere. So.
Right, that we were told was against religious extremists oppressing their people with their extremist religion as law. And here we are in the United States, like I'm crying like 6 times a fucking day. 6 times a day because it's so emotional. It's like you're
crying 6 times a day. Are you on fucking menopause? You fucking run out of tampons, honey? I'm crying 6 times a day. Is that how many times your wife's boyfriend closes the door to the bedroom? I guess I get it. You cry. I get it. You cry then, buddy. But yeah. Just absolute scumbaggery from these people.
And attacked immigrants and U.S. citizens. So how dare somebody claim to be a pastor while overseeing evil? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Now you guys heard that pastor pray. Dear Lord, please chasten us to get our house in order. That was the perfect prayer for such a time as this. Because that's what we came to do. Get your house in order. Don't pretend to be a church while harboring evil. Unacceptable. In addition to being a lawyer, I am also an ordained reverend. So I know what the word says. And I know right from wrong. Jesus, who they claim to worship, went into the...
This is the Nakeem Armstrong chick. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. There is some more footage.
Church, and you'll see him. The same
aware and answer to understand.
Exactly.
In this position.
And that's Allen. That's Chantel Allen right there.
And he didn't have an. What is that? It was
your friend.
And he didn't have. They're fully aware.
I wanted to tell you and your friend thank you for your service. What war did you serve in?
I was in Afghanistan, deployed 6 times, the 1st Ranger Battalion.
What's your name?
Ian Austin.
Ian, and your friend's name again?
Will. He's a woke farmer on social media, but
I know who he is.
Homeland Security stole my phone yesterday. They're trying to turn me into a domestic terrorist.
They stole you. Where's your phone?
They arrested me. They assaulted me.
You are a domestic terrorist. You are a domestic terrorist. We should drone strike you. Dev Grew should come by and black at you one night. There should be a snatch operation. Send in fucking Gold Squadron. Or send in a Saber Squadron out of Bragg. I don't care.
Arrested me.
You don't have your phone?
No, or Homeland Security. Like, coming down from the president, they have everyone's being told that we're all domestic terrorists. We're all domestic terrorists. So like, why was I even speaking to Homeland Security? I was like tricked. I thought.
Notice, chat, we are now a half hour later, and Don Lemon is still not left. Don Lemon has still not left. Also, chat, if some of you are wondering, yes, I am an attorney. Wondering, oh, which politically way do I lean? You probably figured it out by now. But once again, this is what God made. This is what Eugene Stoner made 30-round magazines for. 30 minutes, and they're still fucking around. 30, yes, and better point here, Bubonic Chronic. 30 minutes later, it's still no cops. It's like they were told to stand down.
Now we have to walk past law enforcement. Let's see. I might get arrested, people. One never knows. But I think we should walk on the street because this looks very treacherous. What do you think,
Don? Why did you think you get arrested?
So we are here. We can go here.
What for, Donnie?
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much. How are you guys? Are you guys members of the church?
Yeah.
What did you think of what happened?
I got no comments.
Okay. What about you? Nothing. Okay.
You guys.
I'm just saying, chat. I'm just saying. Yeah. You know, just remember, chat. You know, there's answers to these situations. There are answers to these situations. Just saying, you know, just something. Answers to these situations. There are answers to them when you're dealing with this communist swine.
Take care.
All right, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Oh boy, crazy. Anyway, so here it is. Look, there's the police, St. Paul police right here. But they, for some reason, never came in. I thought that they would come in and try to break it up, but they didn't. I don't know if I can talk to them. Think I should try to talk to them?
Yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah. Just try to...
Let's see if we can talk to these guys. But where's our car? Did we get towed?
No, he said he was grabbing it. We're right there.
Okay. Like, what happened to our car? We thought we got towed. Anyway.
So much fun, wasn't that, chat? So much fun. So much fun. So much fun. That's what he did. Just journalism. Just journalism. Does that sound like journalism to you guys? It's not like journalism to you guys. Oh. Yeah, so. So Wallyap says, was Lebanon reporting on this or participating in the riot? If that's not participating, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, he was literally 100% in lockstep with the protesters and didn't care what you had to say otherwise. It's a little hard to be, are you being an impartial reporter? Just, oh, what's going on? No, he's getting in faces. He's engaging. He's proselytizing. So fuck him. Chugi Show for $5 says, so I can eat the gummy spicy now, don't I? I don't know. You may not need to now at this point. Radcon Hazard for $5 says, those who have privilege, fair treatment, feels like oppression. I know. Equal application of the law today. Debbie O says, it seems to me that those calling this just talking a normal protest probably are churchgoers and think that this is like protesting in Publix. I agree 100%. That to them, it's not a house of God. They're godless people. So they don't care what they do. They're godless people. Chris Didios is saying, will you be doing a live stream on the newest Epstein files? No bueno. I haven't seen anything about them. I've been busy with this and busy doing work today. I'm assuming they're okay. Yeah, there's I don't know what's in it. I don't know what's been seen yet. So I don't know. Probably what's in it. So Letty for $1.99 says TJ is better than JJ. Okay, fair enough. Jefferson Post says channeling elements of a criminal conspiracy. Yes. Yes, and when you film it, Stringer Bell has warned you about this.
Nigga, is you taking notes on a criminal fucking conspiracy? What the fuck is you thinking, man?
I mean, that's basically what he just did. Peter Keys for $5 New Zealand says the same press that get mad when people on the street act like clowns behind them while they live report on the street. Yep. And then Afton for it for 5 subs. Afton, thank you so much for your support and your generosity. It's a son of Woo tonight. Big support out there, chat. Big friggin' support. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. Bass player. Actually, I still think it's bass player. Like you pull fish out of the water and play them. Hope it was worth it, losers. Yep. I agree. Malcolm Combs says for $2, there's still time for Jane Fonda to be schwacked. Sean, your lips to God's ears. David from Mickey Lost Simple says, I am the propaganda. I am the law. Good to see you, David. Hope you're doing well. David, MLS friend of the channel, friend of the show. Bass player again says, it's a shame these are federal charges, so the trial won't be televised. Well, they got bigger issues. It's going to be in Minnesota, so I don't necessarily know we'll get a guilty verdict out of this. Bass player again for $5. Dang, thank you. Is saying he's standing in front of the door, preventing people from leaving. Open and shut right there. Well, I mean, he's harassing them as they leave. He wants to cause a fucking fight. He wanted a fight. Brad says when you have to explain what a house of peace is. Well, remember, these are godless communists. They don't understand religion. Anything superior to the state is evil in their eyes. That's why communists don't accept religion. That's why it doesn't work for them. Then bass player again says, and there's your conspiracy. Enjoy prison, Don. Well, it's one more brick in the wall, chat. Remember, you have to, each brick by itself is not enough, but all the bricks together build a wall. And Sky Queen, good to see you, Sky Queen. Hope you're doing well. Says, so they want you to the church to recruit people? No, they're doing that as a struggle session. Like they're trying to bully you and say, well, why aren't you down there? And they want to kind of like scare you and force you into like letting them do their thing because they're going to make you feel like you're the evil person. It's called a struggle session. Because that's all they want. is for you to struggle. The Maoist Chinese were very good at this. But yeah, they wasn't necessarily. I mean, if they had their way, they would start beating the shit out of you until you complied. Yes. But as of right now, they can't get away with that. And then Hakojo saying, boy, I can't wait till this nonsense hits Columbus. Something tells me Ohio will be less tolerant. Oh, yeah, get ready, chat. If you go to church and you live in any suburban areas this summer, you better talk to your church. Talk to your security people. What are your plans to deal with this? You guys might have armed security, but you might need less lethal security. You guys might need some people who aren't, who can grab, like, you've got a little collection of tire thumpers that you keep in the building. And somebody runs and grabs those and hands out a box of tire thumpers, and you start cracking fucking skulls. Might need to do that. Bass player says a lawyer whose pants turned brown when she found out her phone was getting scraped. Yep. Yep. I bet she did. Squizgar says, I recall when he was talking to the Attorney General, I think. He even said he was involved in the organization of it. I don't recall that part, but But Squizgar for $10. Thank you. And then Crazy King Manlao says, I believe the Hollywood movies where the actors play journalists have better integrity. They probably do. But even then, remember, they're actors in Hollywood, so not much better. Not much better. Excuse me, sorry. And then Patrick, 8109, says, so Don Lemon basically went in and provided the government 4K footage of these people committing these crimes. Baked Alaska got called a Fed for less. Yes. And remember, Chad, as, once again, he's taking notes. Basically, Don Lemon went into the church and told the feds, like...
Got they licking their pencils right now, trying to write fierce as they can. Get every word of this here. Get every word of this.
That's basically what he told the feds. Just record this shit. That's what he did. Because he's a goober. Yeah, I'm still contemplating the image of Alex Jones in an abortion clinic doing this. Imagine that. Imagine Alex Jones walking to an abortion clinic and doing this. Are you okay with that still? If you're not, maybe that's a problem. Imagine if Greg Gutfeld followed protesters in on January 6th. Yeah. Yes, tech guy. Yes, speaking of Baked Alaska. Yes. Yes. We love our cops. We love our law enforcement. We love our military. They're important. We love our cops, our law enforcement. Kaylee Wright says, why storm the church? Because they want to go disrupt. This is, we got to bring back up the pyramid here. This is part of what you do when you're doing these movements. It's a low-level insurgency that's brewing. And from here, they are using this as part of the operations that form. And they're doing this in a way to show strength. They're conducting operations in a way that they are doing this in a way, and this is actually from the United States. This is from the United States military. It's part of what Special Forces is part of the preparations for a revolution. Above ground, you have massive military actions, minor guerrilla stuff, large-scale conflict, everything underground. Well, what's some of the stuff underground? You do things to demonstrate your power. So you recruit fellow travelers and others into your organizations. You penetrate labor unions. You spread subversive organizations into all sectors. You establish massive front organizations like BLM. You intensify propaganda. You do overt and covert pressures against the government. You do sabotage and terror to demonstrate the weakness of the government. They're demonstrating power by doing these things. They are showing up to say, we can do this, and you can't stop us, that we're stronger than you. We know who you are. We know where you are. We know where you go to church. They're doing agitation and unrest and disaffection. They're doing, like, infiltrating the police, the administration, the military, and national organizations. They're doing agitation. They're forming favorable public opinion. They're creating distrust of established institutions like the church. You know, they create an atmosphere of widespread discontent. You know, they're looking for the dissatisfaction with political, economical, social, and administrative conditions. Desires for ideological and other changes. Like these all happen at the same time and at different times. This is how this works. This is how this works. And then eventually you get increased underground activities designed to demonstrate the strength of the revolution. Like last summer when those guys attacked the ICE facility in Texas. They're starting to demonstrate what they can do. You know what? Like and the thing is, you can bounce around on this. It's not just a straight progression. You're gonna go like bang, 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 all the time. You're doing these all the time, and eventually you build up intensity, 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 until bam, you are out on the streets fighting. So that is what you're doing there. That's what they're doing there. Autodoc says, why show this? They already know this. They've been training on this for years. They like all these playbooks they have and the way they do this stuff, they're organized. They already know this stuff. The idea they don't appreciate or understand guerrilla warfare, they already know. They already know. But that's what they're doing, Kaylee. And I hope that answers your question. Sounds like rules for radicals. I mean, it is a little bit rules for radicals, but this is not just rules for radicals. This is communist insurgency tactics. Like, rules for radicals is like Saul Alinsky is the part here of penetrating into labor unions and organizations as part of society. Like here, and it's agitation. And this is rules for radicals right here. Getting into labor unions and stuff. When did they do that? In the 30s. But yes, that's part of it. That's the rules for radicals part. Saul Alinsky was a labor organizer and community organizer. They have the SEIU, the UAW, the United Food Workers, the United Steel Workers. They have everything. The Teamsters, whatever it is, whatever you think it is, they own it. Teachers unions, yeah. The unions have pretty much always been communist. Yep. Yeah, they own all the unions. Yep. Cloward and Piven too. Yes, the Cloward and Piven strategy as well. There's all of it, chat. And this is what I'll say. If you watch Glenn Beck for years and years on end, you understand all this stuff. So. Are the agents that shot Preddy guilty of murder? No. But I don't think those guys should have done what they did. Ploxer says, I show this to midwits like you for education purposes. I mean, I'll show you guys all kinds of stuff. Different books and different things, that are secret tools for later. There's all kinds of secret tools that'll help us later. Did you get this from Reddit? No, this is from the JFK Special Warfare School. Like this is a military document where they explain how this works. This is how it works. So, yeah, there's a reason why the commies radicalize children. Yep. That looks like something Don Lemon shoves on his pooper. Well, he probably does. VTubing says, is there a right-wing or non-communist version of this? No. No, but basically, if you were trying to do a right-wing revolution, this is how you would do it. You would show dissatisfaction with the communist groups. But the right doesn't organize like this. The right normally just runs a coup. Let's see. Let's see here. G-Dance, Epstein files Trump. I get it. He's in the Epstein files. I get it. You believe he murdered that kid in Lake Michigan too, probably. Okay. Yes. The right wing isn't nearly as organized as left. It's not organized at all. It's not organized at all, guys. VTube says, take notes, Chud. This is what we need to do. Yeah. Rob Kiersey says, I guess the Proud Boys are a right-wing version, but they're no, you guys don't get it. Like, this is all the anti-ICE people. This is BLM. This is Antifa. It's all these groups. Like, it's all these groups, guys. They're done. Like, the Proud Boys are gone. The Proud Boys have been destroyed. A bunch of them got rolled up by the feds. And, you know, they didn't like the fact that Enrique was a big fucking fed. So, yeah, like, the Proud Boys are kind of, like, out of the fight, man. The Proud Boys are, like, remnants of it at this point. You know, that's what they are now. They are what they used to be, and not even close. You know, their high watermark. Their high watermark was probably the summer of 2020. And then the election. And that was it. And then you got to January 6th, and yeah, they were done. And, you know, the feds went after them hard in the paint. So the judge trusted a black Puerto Rican. Well, hey, it's more base than Antifa is. So Craig Hudgens says, glad the Proud Boys are done. I'm not. There's nobody out there that counterbalances this. Antifa these people would be in fear right now of getting their ass whooped. But they aren't. So yeah, they got sold out to the feds. Yep. Let's see here. Clantifa, yes. Marlene says, looking near the top. Yes, the sapping of morale in the president and the government. Yeah, this is intense sapping of morale. Yeah, but remember, all this stuff is happening at the same time. And remember, it's not like a progression. It's like the water rising, and it's just the water slowly rises. And by the time you get to, you know, terror attacks, we're like right before it. Yeah. Yes, I've heard Gavin McGinnis talk about it, and it's interesting how it started. Eric, did you see the lesbian judge that got arrested for handcuffing a defense attorney? Nope. If you could send that to me at my email address, I'd be happy to look at it, but I don't know anything else. I don't know anything about it. Radcon Hansen says the Proud Boys started mainly over Black Bloc attacking random people with bike locks. Yep. They started out as the counterbalance. Craig Hutchinson said, as a proud conservative, I don't want the right to be violent. Just me, I guess. Honey, just so you understand, the left is going to be violent, and they're coming to kill you. You don't want to fight. The fight's coming. The fight's at your doorstep. You don't, like, the fight is happening regardless of whether or not you want to be involved. They're coming for you. Prepare accordingly. That's what's happening. That's what's happening here. I don't want to fight. They don't care. Are you going to bend the knee to them? No. Then they're going to kill you. So you've got no choice. You need to prepare. I'm well aware of that. You're well aware that they're going to come and fuck you up. I'm prepared. Jail? No, you don't, buddy. Jailed. They're gonna kill you. They'll throw you in jail. Like, they want you dead, your wife and kids raped, and they'll laugh about it. Like, you don't get the people you're dealing with. You don't fully understand the people you're dealing with. Jail, they'll put you in a fucking gulag if they had their way. So. Let's see here. Liquid Magic Chan says, hey, I've been to jail. It's actually really cool. Big coffee and fantasy book. Yes. And they'll think it's all funny what happens to you. Yeah. You'll spend years in jail. Book of Revelations calls this. I get it. Yeah, I'm thinking God wants you to start. I think it's far better to resist it. So. Yes, Scotty K Fitness. Oh, that was hilarious. That guy, ran off like a little girl. People called him gay because I think he is gay. And then he started doxing people, including a paralyzed guy, and now he lost all of his business on the internet, which is great. So. It's the Book of Revolutions. Yeah, I know. That's why it's Revelations, but hey. Stevie says, check DMs. I'll check your DMs. Oh, wow. Okay, hold on here, chat. Ooh, we're going to do this. What is this? Hold on.
Alice faces multiple charges tonight, including a second-degree felony. We just got her mugshot a few minutes ago. It's right here behind us. News 4's cameras caught the moment Speedland Gonzalez walked into a courtroom to be indicted. Tonight, there are questions about what happens next.
News 4 San Antonio's Phil Sterling has been following the story for us all day. He joins us live with the very latest on the charges. Phil.
Now, County Court at Law Judge Rosie Speedland Gonzalez arrived here to the Cadena Reeves Justice Center to show up to a courtroom only feet away from her own, just down the hall. This right here behind me is her courtroom. We got a copy right here of the indictment of all the charges that were read to her, although it did give limited information as to what happened. At a county court, at-law judge Rosie Speedland Gonzalez is in court, but not to preside over a case. She's here to be arraigned. She's been charged with one count of unlawful.
See, I hate whoever did this. They put the picture there and you can't see shit now.
Restraint by a peace officer or judge, a second-degree felony, and official oppression, a Class A misdemeanor.
Also, does she really have to put the rainbow flag there? I think it's pretty obvious.
Bexar County District Attorney filed a motion for recusal regarding the case, so a special prosecutor named Brian Cromines of Goliad County was appointed to handle the case. Meanwhile, we reached out to Speedland Gonzalez's office for comment and are still waiting on a response. What we do know is that she presides over the Refleo Court, a court specializing in reducing domestic violence by authorizing specialized supervision for offenders, like matching them with officers with small cases.
What does refleo mean in Spanish? Tell me, chat.
But now, according to the Judicial Commission Online, when a judge is criminally charged, they're suspended without pay. The commission cannot reinstate them while charges are pending. The only question is whether that suspension stays unpaid. Now, the next time that we see her in court is not known, although we do know that her caseload is being offloaded onto other judges. Phil Sterling reporting live, News 4.
Well, that's interesting. It doesn't say why he did it, though, or why they did it. It doesn't say why it happened, though, so I guess we'll figure it out at some point. We'll figure it out. So, how about afuera? Refleo means reflect. I kind of thought that, but I wasn't sure. Thank you, Erica. I appreciate it. Refleo is reflection, but spelling. Well, no, it's in Espanol. Yeah, she put a lawyer in handcuffs. I mean, what, like, this is insane. Okay, let me see here. Okay, so here we go. We'll bring up, here's what actually happened here. Yes, Dios mío! All right, so what happened here? So former staff members who have come forward accusing of egregious behavior. Okay, so somebody was at the reflection court. Participants were the nonprofit American Indians in Tejas and the Spanish colonial missions. Said she had known her, considered that like here. She began lashing out at defendants. Multiple incidents that were crossing lines. In one incident, a female defendant who had a pregnancy scare was told to invest in batteries. Well, I guess that's because she's, you know, lesbian and all that. Basically, get a vibrator, and that's what blew my mind. Well, an 18-year-old participant was berated after court discovered sexual content on his phone, calling him a fucking poser, and this man is homeless. Yeah. Well, somebody told her she's getting out of control. She told her staff to stay in their lanes. And she said, if you feel I'm doing this, I need you to consider getting therapy. I need you to consider getting, what a fucking cunt of a human being. So let's see about arresting the attorney. Okay, so in late September, she issued a no contact order preventing staff from communicating with other people who had resigned. Saying, okay, well, don't talk to the people or kick you off the team. Okay, well, yeah, this is... So where is the thing about jailing? Or okay, here we go. She ordered a defense attorney in her courtroom to be placed in in the jury box. Okay. During a probation revocation hearing, after the defendant pled true to one of the allegations, the attorney cut in and asked for a moment to confer with her client. The defendant functions below average intellectually. Okay, well, that is a problem. I've dealt with clients who, guys, if you're new, I am an attorney. I'm out here in Cleveland, Ohio. Yeah, if they're not with it, you got to take your time and figure this out. Can't just do that. She informed the attorney they're not allowed to coach their clients. After the judge moved forward with the true plea, the attorney objected. She says, stop, it's on the record. Your argumentative ways aren't going to work today. She says, stop, or I'll hold you in contempt. I will hold you in contempt. The judge said she was not allowed to be argumentative and argue just for the sake of argument. Take her into custody, put her in the box. I'm sure she wasn't like, put her in my box. We are not having this hearing this way. You will not run around these courtrooms and think you can just conduct yourself in the way you've been conducting yourself for at least the last 6 years. Oh, what a bitch. Russell responded she's only been licensed for 5 years. Sounds like she's like her cheese let off her cracker. After this incident, she filed a criminal complaint. Based! Make the judge suffer. In the complaint, she accused the judge of official oppression and unlawful restraint. There you go. Based. Stand up for yourself, honey. The attorneys refuse themselves. Yeah, so she's been charged and she got indicted. Based. Absolutely based. Judge getting her ass whooped. So yeah, she's cheeseless. So it's clearly a long-standing grudge. I'm sure she's like, you know, those perky little girls, you won't sleep with a lesbian like me. Strong pantsuit vibes. Most female attorneys wear pantsuits nowadays. Especially when it's colder out. So G-Dan says Trump's a pedophile. I mean, and you're just sitting here on YouTube crying about it. Go saddle up and take care of God's work, because you just sitting here is consent. Are you consenting to this? Are you letting him do it? I think you are. Do it. Go do it. Do it now. Go do it now. 800 yards. Get him within 800 yards. Do it. Go do it. Why aren't you doing it? Why aren't you doing it? Oh. Is that legal advice? No, but just when people keep making those claims, like, then go fucking do something about it. If you really believe it. Go take care of all the work. Go do God's work for us. Oh. And Fed posting? I always Fed post. Have I seen the videos of Judge Boyd and her tactics? I've seen her videos. I've not been impressed with her. Oh, your speech is compelling. I know it tries to be. It tries to be compelling. Okay, let me see here. Digital Lee or Digital Elite. I'm not sure. I'm thinking that's what you're trying to do. Digital Elite. I think you're trying to do that, but it's Digitally Elite. I'm not sure. Gonna have to tell me here. Already indicted by the grand jury. This is faster than the mortgage fraud case. Well, they were working on that. They must have had some damning evidence for the grand jury to approve that so fast. They literally had all the videos and all the witnesses show up. I guarantee you all those people showed up and testified. So pretty easy at that point. Treasure Island. Island, how you doing? It says, this is Sean's Roman Empire. Let him cook. Well, there is the Roman Empire too, chat. There's never a bad time to talk about the Roman Empire. We are at the point now where, yes, you know, and this is, I told 2.0, I've always wanted to go to Italy because the Rubicon still exists. It's a ditch now, basically, a drainage ditch, but I still want to cross it. I still want to walk across the Rubicon at some point in my life. But yes, we are at that point. We are at that point. Julius Caesar. Although who's Pompey Magnus? Who's Pompey? Super Iron Bob for $5. What people think of the left. Many see the groomed face of the left, not those enabled and latched on and in the left who will do the bad things. Yep. There's a whole undercurrent of these lunatics that are out there. A whole undercurrent of them, and they are very dangerous. Errant Proxy says, what are the odds on conviction? I'll be charitable. Because you're probably going to have problems with the hung jury. %, 40, 60, 40, 60, 40%, yes. 40%, yes. Sorry to scare you like that, but probably 40% valid. 40% valid. Oh. Nothing ever happens. That's true. That's true. Say says I love Italy. Never been there. Buff Burnell says gotta watch Rome sometime, dude. Yes. Well, no, you can't watch it. There's naked women in that. You're gay, sir. Well, at least Phil's gay. He wouldn't watch it. Amos Kurtz says stick your dick in the Rubicon like Trump did. Yeah, I'm sure. Dip my nuts in it. Nick can be my Pompey. Okay. Who is the modern triumvirate? I don't know. Sam Hyde, Trump, and I don't know who else. Barron. There we go. That'll be Sam Hyde, Trump, and Barron. Oh, that's a second triumvirate. Who would be in the first one? I don't know who would be in the first triumvirate. Bella says, well, damn, how long have you been on? 2 hours. 2 hours. We're going to wrap this up here because we got to get ready for the Russell Greer stuff. Check out what Don Lemon said after release. His lawyer probably hates him. Really? I don't know. Yeah, it's Hogan pulling time. Let me see here. Yeah, Heat Puss is totally gay. Hey, Tectone said that too. Magic Shan says, oh yeah, Pete Hegseth, Mr. Medicare, and Trump. We'll do that. Let's see. What else is there? 1 minute video. TMZ released a 1 minute video of Don Lemon's speech. Oh, okay. God, Mark Dice. I just thought about him because I Don Lemon. Mark Dice must be eating good today, chat. Remember, Mark Dice, he is the most hilarious of people out there. So let's see here. Let's see here. Let's see, chat. Oh, real quick, chat. I'm going to look for something. Oh, well, chat, it looks like the Banfield trial, they went home for the day. And it's over 2 hours of jury deliberation. So I was wrong about the 1 hour. Let me see here. Let me grab Don Lemon on TM. Let's see here. YouTube has kept Mark Dice there. Yeah. Let's see here. Where's Don Lemon's statement? All right, chat. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Don Lemon. Don Lemon. Here we go.
So look, I want to thank everybody for their support. It truly means the world to me. I have no idea what's going on because obviously I haven't seen anything. I have spent my entire career covering the news. I will not stop now. In fact, there is no more important time than right now, this very moment, for a free and independent media that shines a light on the truth and holds those in power accountable. Again, I will not stop now. I will not stop ever. Last night, the DOJ sent a team of federal agents to arrest me in the middle of the night for something that I've been doing for the last 30 years, and that is covering the news. The First Amendment of the Constitution protects that work for me and for countless of other journalists who do what I do. I stand with all of them, and I will not be silent. I look forward to my day in court. Thank you all.
He says that, but I guarantee you some coward like him will shit a brick. What when you call him a faggot, you can call him a faggot here. We'll call him a faggot. What a faggot. Just call him what he is. Don't be afraid out there, chat. Use those words. Use those words. Eric says, what's he getting charged with? Violating the FACE Act, entering the church to disrupt it, and then also getting charged with the Ku Klux Klan Act. Basically conspiring to deprive people of their constitutional rights. So, yes, Don Lemon is dealing with that now. Don Lemon. Don Lemon. Mom LaDon. Yes, you know him, chat. You love him. Don Lemon. Oh. There we go. Yes. They came to his house in the middle of the night, and the news came to cover it, too. Yeah. Well, there you go. He's a Fed informant. He needed street cred. I mean, I guess. Huh. Oh, let's see here. Sean, YouTube doesn't let you say faggot. YouTube censors it. Oh, okay. John Coleman for $5 says, I wish Don Lemon had said 2 words. Jury nullification. He's probably going to get that. But in the meantime, that shouldn't stop it from being tried. He should be prosecuted. They have more than enough evidence to do it. So, yes, he pushes back on it. When the law pushes up against him, he pushes back into it. Robert Barnes is slurping up Don's. Oh, is he really? Is Robert Barnes really doing that? Are you kidding me? Just shows you what some people are, man. Just shows you what some people are. Not a surprise. Not a surprise. So he's going to back up on it. Oh, I'm sure he will. I'm sure he will. What's been wrong with Barnes lately? Well, lately, okay. Well, yes, Barnes is taking his 7K. I don't get the joke. So I don't get the joke on that one. Islands, what here? D-Day Cobra showed it today, said it. Oh, I don't know I don't understand the thing here. Barnes is always wrong. If he says lemon's cooked, we're doing well. He's gay, about time. All right, so yeah, I understand. I'm just, you guys are saying the $7,000. I don't get what that's at. And if Don Lemon hired Robert Barnes, Don Lemon's going to be making fucking license plates for a decade. Oh, Israel is giving people over the $7,000 for their tweets. Yeah. Samurai Actual says you can't stand D-Day. I don't mind Jeremy. I thought it was hilarious when he fell to the quartering, though. He came in there and just bitch slapped fucking the quartering about stuff. So, yeah. I thought it was $8,000 being paid by Israel. So, let's see. He's backing TPUSA with bad lawyering. Well, I support TPUSA also. It's evergreen, yes. He did Hambly pretty good. Yes, he did. Don Lemon can't afford the Barnes Walker. Am I naming my price? I don't have a price. I don't have any advertisers, so it doesn't matter. I have no price. Oh. Let's see here. Magic Chances, please hit me up, Israel. Yes, please. You're like, I don't need the Mossad contacts. Yes. Marek Haver says I couldn't. Yeah, they probably can't afford it, is part of the issue for them. I forgot Stonies. Guys, it's a joke group. They don't actually pay me. Even though it's Stonies at 1580 East Broadway Street in Rockville, Minnesota, chat. Stonies is your place to go when you're in Minnesota, guys. It's getting cold, but what are you going to do at Stonies? You got to go out and celebrate, chat. Yeah, sure. The NFL season's over for the Vikings. No more of that. But Stonies is out there doing God's work, trying to get stuff going. Take care of that. I mean, we do have some other. We also have, MAF-arms.com, MAF Corporation. Get your wind chimes ready, chat, for the spring. Have I been living under a rock? I guess I have, Gina. I don't know what's going on. And then we also have, last but not least, chat, the dragonstreasure.com. Promo code CRIMINAL. 10% off your coffee, tea, or soaps. Or, because you could probably get a bunch of it all at once. So. Is released with bail no comment for cases like Don Lemon? Yeah. It's he has no, guys, some of you guys are and I'm not saying you in general, but just think about this. He has no he has no criminal record. It's a non-violent offense, not a crime of violence. They found him. He didn't resist arrest. He, is well known. He has stable income. He has a job. He has a home. He has a family. A lot of things that don't make him a flight risk. And the odds of him putting the community at danger are pretty much non-existent. So, yeah, ideally, you'd want to, you put him out on bail. That would be the proper resolution here for that. Now, Also, if you're the government, keeping him out slows down his speedy trial window. So, yes, jailing him does not help anybody except Don Lemon. So you wouldn't want to do it. You wouldn't want to do it. It's totally normal. It's totally normal. I thought you were sponsored by Stoney's Bar. I don't get it. Why is that a joke? Because Aaron Imholtz, the Ilta Morning Show, used to do it all. Well, he does it all the time, and I did it mainly to start fucking around with Nick Rekieta and torquing him off. And I just thought it was cute and funny, and I started doing it, and it just became a bit of a gag. So that's why. Don't worry. If you thought it's confusing to you, it was very confusing to my mom about why I was. She had to Google who they were, and she said, "Why are you advertising for a bar in the middle of Minnesota?" And it's like 15 hours away. So trust me, she was very confused. Yes, apparently though, Cheeto loves my ad reads compared to Aaron's. Oh. G-Dan says that beard covers up your double chin like the DOJ covers up Trump's child rape. Well, yeah, I got a double chin. Your mom cooks real good, man. She's like Paula Deen, the butter queen. Like, your mom's good. What do you want me to say? Your mom burned dinner a couple of times. I probably would be a lot skinnier. Sean is dedicated to his bar hoping, yes. Yes, there are no nonsense allowed at Stoney's. Stoney's is now part of the sector. Yes, it is. And don't lie, you're just a big fan of $2.50 cans. Well, chat, you know what? That is a big point. At Stoney's is the home of the $2.50 can every Thursday night. It used to be $2. But Biden inflation took care of that last, in 2024. Made it $2.50 can. Sadly. Such a shame. Such a shame. Oh, okay, that's done. Let's see. Daisy Girl says, I lurking, but I think Abby Lowell is Don's attorney. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. That's already been established. His attorney released a statement this morning. And yeah, this is something his attorney already put out. This is a statement from his lawyer. And guys, remember, this is the same guy who represented Hunter Biden and is part of all of that incestuous cabal. And it says, Don Lemon was taken into custody by federal agents last night in Los Angeles, where he was covering the Grammys. Don's been a journalist for 30 years. Okay, so what? And his constitutionally protected work in Minnesota was no different than what he's always done. I don't think he fucked around like he's ever done that before. There is no more important time for people like Don to be doing his work of being gay. Instead of investigating the federal agents who killed 2 peaceful protesters, the Trump DOJ is devoting its attention and time to this arrest, and that is the real indictment of wrongdoing in this case. This unprecedented attack on the First Amendment. Whose First Amendment? Like the First Amendment, to practice religion? Because that got attacked. And the transparent attempt to distract attention from the many crises facing this administration will not stand. Don will fight these charges vigorously and thoroughly in court. Yes. Yep, there we go. Wow. Yeah, you're like, wow. Wow. Yes. So, yeah. There's all kinds of stuff under investigation. Reese says, not trying to stick my nose in where it doesn't belong, but insecure women do like to fatten their men as a protection method. Ononoko says, when I first started watching Sean, I genuinely believed he was sponsored by Stoney's. No. It's just we just do it. We do the memes a little bit, chat. We do the law stuff, but we also do the memes here. We enjoy the memeing. Memeing is part of our life. It's part of our ecosystem with the memeing. If you go to Stoney's wearing potentially criminal church merch and say the lawyer in Ohio told me to go here for a drink, do you think they'd give me a free drink? I don't know. I don't know if Cheeto's ready for that, but I could see him possibly doing that. Or giving you like free appetizer or something. I don't know. Don will box these charges like so many clowns he's boxed in the past. Yeah. He's got a box of charges like Rocky, to quote Jay-Z. To quote the great Jay-Z. This channel is Keno Casino friendly. Yes, it is. Yes, memeing is part of our culture. Yes, it's called a running gag, unlike Sean, who never runs. Well, that's correct. Have you ever reached out to Stoney's? Through Aaron, I have. You thought they just gave me a lot of leeway in how I do the ads. Oh, yeah. No, I just riff, and I do better than Aaron at it. I'm surprised Meme didn't get a sand tower. Well, yeah, well, that's what you get when you deal with a scooper like Meme. All right, chat. We are gonna there's a sausage factory in Missouri called Stoney's. Would recommend. Justice Smith says, I'm putting at a 20% he gets convicted. I'm not going to doom like that. I'm going to be optimistic. I'm going to be good faith Gary. I'll say 40%. Do I think in reality it's less than that? Yes. Do I think it's close to 20? Probably. So that's yes. So that's so like 30%. Yeah, I think honestly like 25%-ish, 25%. Yes, you know what a better day today? Yes, Luigi Maggione, because he's not going to get executed today. But he also lost his suppression hearing, so that's also bad too. It's like The Simpsons. You have to say like that's bad, which is good, but also bad. All right, chat. Let's see here. We're gonna wrap this up. We are gonna wrap this up here. So that is Don Lemon's situation today. I think there's a lot coming his way here. We'll find out as we get going. But right now it's gonna lay low. Luigi almost got out. No, he's not even close. Not even close to getting out. All right, chat. So what we are going to do is I'm going to set up the I got the other stream set up. We're going to get to that in a little bit here. And we're on the straight as Luigi's already out here. We're united with his brother Mario. Yes. Am I doing a Greer stream tonight? Yes, we are. Yes, we are doing it. Now, from here in chat, we are going to wrap this up. I will see you guys over a little bit later, about a half hour or so from now. We're going to talk about Russell Greer and the fact he's suing everybody. He's suing Kiwi Farms. He's suing the state of Nevada. And he's also suing a former employer of his. It's very, very funny. All kinds of fun stuff going on there. And we are going to, we'll see what happens for Don. And, may his suffering be legendary even in hell. At the very least. That's all we can hope for, short of a winner. Yes, reminder, Don Lemon harasses people in a sexual manner and has done it there. So keep that in mind, chat. So, yes, some guy tried to bust Luigi out today. It was hilarious. Yep. So with that said, chat, I will leave you here. And just remember until next time, just because you did it does not mean you're guilty. Good night, chat, and take care.
Weapons black, blacksmithing and models of planes, esoteric works and even some trains. Much merriment had while drinking White Claws, tips on hunting and even talking the law. Whatever you do, just don't talk to cops, even when they nab you on illegal stops. Just 'cause you did it doesn't mean you're guilty, but please talk to a local attorney. Was that the